What's up, everyone? Showdown breakdown time, Thursday night football, and we have a weird one.
Yes, we do.
With a weird one. 49ers at the Rams. Rams at home. Massive home favorites. 26 and a quarter point team total for the Rams. 49ers. Everybody's hurt except for Christian McCaffrey, who defies all expectations. But everybody else is hurt on the team. No quarterback. Purdy out. Juwan Jennings out. Ricky Pearsall out. George Kittle out.
Yep.
They got nothing. So we have a lot of backups. We have some crazy backup quarterback pricing. FanDuel priced Mac Jones at $1,000 is free. So free quarterback. And we have to figure out in this game if the 49ers are even going to be competitive. Like, this seems like the McCaffrey nuclear explosion game. But what if they're losing and they're just like, I don't want to risk it, and they pull him out? And we get crazy on McCaffrey and it doesn't work out. So there's a lot to break down in this one. And I've got the man himself to break it all down with me. Bobby, 2 times. Bobby Millions. What's going on, my man?
This is going to be interesting here. Going to be really interesting because we've seen this before. And, actually, I think what's most interesting to me is that Mac Jones, who played a couple weeks ago, right? Purdy played last week, but prior to that, it was Jones. He actually looked decent. He looked serviceable in Shanahan's offense. So I don't know. Maybe it's not as ugly as we think it is.
I think the lack of wide receivers is a problem. The good Rams defense could be a problem. But again, all right, they got DeMarcus Robinson. They have Kendrick Bourne, I guess.
Right, I know.
Bourne has some history with Mac Jones. They were together. They did well together on the Patriots for whenever they played together. Bourne was pretty good. Like, he was decent on the Patriots. People didn't notice it, but it was true. And there's so much salary available, Bobbywow, that, like, in some ways you just feel like throw Puka at captain and be done with it, right? But then on the other hand, it's like non-competitive. Maybe some weird stuff happens. How do you get a little weird at the captain spot? Let's take a look at what the projected ownerships look like for this one at captain. All right, so it's pretty condensed here. Are you seeing this, Bobbywow?
Absolutely, yes.
Wait, let me blow this up so that it's visible. But Puka 26%, McCaffrey 26%. And then Kyron, the next best, I guess, at 10%. And then it just drops and drops off from there. These, the Kendrick Bournes, the DeMarcus Robinsons, virtually no ownership. Stafford unowned. Oh, actually getting 5%. He's getting a little bit of ownership, but it looks weird. It looks, it's going to be McCaffrey, Puka, or something else.
Yeah.
What's your inclination at first look, seeing that much ownership on Puka and McCaffrey? They're really great. I mean, they're good plays. What can you do?
To be 100% honest with you, my first inclination is, how the heck aren't they higher owned? Because they probably should be.
Yeah, there it is.
As much as I hate to say it.
Yeah. How do you balance talking about this game and understanding that, like, these guys are far and away like the best plays, and look at the props for them? I mean, it's miles ahead of everybody else, and there's all the salary in the world to afford it. How do you balance that with, but what if it doesn't work for those guys? And, like, how do you take $1 million down by, like, something weird happening?
I think the key is going to be how lineup construction fits together. So I think we need to make sure we build a lineup for this one, because oftentimes when you have really cheap guys at wide receiver or running back at primary positions, you can get away with maybe not playing the highest couple of exposures at captain. But here we have so many super uber cheap guys that, I don't know that we're expecting a ceiling game out of any of them, that it's really tough to make the case, to have anyone else a captain, outside of the two primary guys, and kind of mix and match the values, just because there is so much value on the slate.
Yeah, I mean, I remember years ago a similar slate to this, Bobbywow. Very similar. It was the 49ers. It was the same team. And they had lost all of their starting wide receivers to injury. And it was like Ricky James and like some names like that. The third string, it would be like a Ray McLeod type of guy. I don't think it was him, but, those floating guys around that were still around. And I remember it because it was Ricky James in the end at $200 salary. That was the nuts captain play. And that lineup left tens of thousands on the table. Like, it left tons of money on the table. And this reminds me of it just a little bit. Yeah,
I totally agree. I think what we absolutely need, though, in that scenario, there were at least 3 super, super solid studs in that lineup that paid off in the flex. And they all put up big numbers. And that's the only reason that worked. So if we can look down the list and say, okay, we've got 3 or 4 guys that we're pretty sure are going to, have ceiling type of games, that's the scenario in which a super turd or a super punt at captain works. I don't know that we're going to get there here, but let's take a look.
Yeah. All right, we'll do a quick rundown of the matchup sheet. But again, a lot of this will be somewhat irrelevant because especially on the 49er side, these guys haven't been playing that much. But I do think we're going to learn a lot on the Rams here. So Kyren Williams, 68% snap count, right around 70%. Blake Corum now starting to mix in a little bit. Just mental note and reminder that in a blowout scenario, that backup running back, that Blake Corum, could come into play if this game starts to get out of control. Much like what happened on Monday when Bobbywow was in here telling everybody, consider playing RJ Harvey. And he popped not in the early part of that game, but in the garbage time second half of the game when it was just completely done. So that's how this could kind of play out. You could see Kyren doing his thing early. Domination, Rams defense, domination. And then Blake Corum coming in late. That assumes a blowout, which we don't know will happen.
Right.
Tight end situation for the Rams. Higbee Smalls is the actual Tyler Higbee is the illest today. It's not well. Won't be playing. His styles are played out like Arnold. What you talking about, Willis? In case you didn't know. No? All right. So the tight end is out, and in his replacement will be Davis Allen and Terrence Ferguson. Colby Parkinson.
Davis Allen and Parkinson. Yeah, I think it's Allen and Parkinson primarily.
I don't think we need to do anything with those guys. I'm going to say it right now. Don't play those guys. I'm not even playing them as turds. Fuck that. I'm out. It's not a turd slate for the Rams. They're throwing to their main guys. Don't need that savings. They're not going to do enough. So I'm out on that.
Okay.
And then let's go to Puka and Davante Adams. Puka, 36% target share. Davante last week was down a little bit, 15%. Puka obviously went bananas. But on the season, it's been crazy. The target share for Puka and Davante, especially the air yards, is something in the range of 80%. They only throw to these two guys. Barely throw to the running back.
Yeah.
I like that.
You kind of knew that, right? Kyren, that's really his big fault is that he just doesn't catch a lot of passes.
He used to catch passes when Puka was hurt last year and didn't have anybody else. They threw a lot to Kyren.
When he can, I don't know why they stopped. I guess they don't need to.
Yeah, they don't need to. It's not that he can't catch a pass. That dude was catching 9-10 targets a game. He absolutely can catch a pass just fine. It's just how they run this offense. WR3 looks to be Jordan Whittington, who also does not see a whole lot of targets. So whatevs. Maybe some garbage time goodness for him if they pull the starters in the third quarter. That kind of if it's that kind of script. But other than that, you don't really see these guys involved at all. That's nice about the Rams. It's really three guys. It's Puka, Devontae, Kyron, and the quarterback, and that's it. Easy.
Yeah, pretty easy. Yeah, Whittington's on the field a bunch, doesn't see a lot of targets, and then Tutu's kind of like when he's in, and chances are he's going to see a target or two.
Yeah.
So he doesn't play as many snaps, but he broke a big play last week. That's kind of what he does, right? He either boom or bust, and mostly bust.
Yeah. Honestly, if one of these other guys got hurt and Tutu was playing a lot, he would be an exciting DFS play. He's an exciting player, but they're not. And again, there's so much value on the San Francisco side that I don't think we need to mess with these turds. Like, even if Tutu has one big play, is that going to outscore Kendrick Bourne being a starter? It could, but it might not. Probably it's less likely to. Or Bourne or whoever the hell else it's going to be.
I agree.
I don't know that it's Bourne, but him or DeMarcus or one of those guys. Even our old friend Martez Valdez-Scantling, the villain of Showdowns. You know why he's the villain of Showdowns, Bobbywow?
Tell me why.
Because he should have been a turd spinner hero of Showdowns. Except he always drops the pass. Like, it's always like, oh shit, I got Martez. Oh shit, 40 yards in the, and he drops it. And you're like, man, that could have been crazy.
It's tilt. And in the fourth quarter, you see the long ball go up. He's at the goal line by himself.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God.
This is why I played him. This is why I played. Oh, fuck. He dropped it. That's MVS. But let's take a look at what's going on here. So we got Mac Jones. It's the Mac attack back at the helm. Mac Jones, 1K salary on FanDuel. He's free.
You have to play Mac Jones on FanDuel. You just have to.
There's no version of, I don't know how you cannot play it for 1,000. Yeah. FanDuel is going to be fun. I might be more excited to build on FanDuel than DraftKings, Bobbywow.
I get it. It's fun though. It's fun on both just because there's so many options here at wide receiver. But I agree.
I mean, it lets you play. Part of the reason those guys are McCaffrey and Puka are such captainable is because there's no problem. You're still leaving salary over when you play them both. It's tough. All right. So McCaffrey, 84% of the snaps, all of the carries. They mix in Brian Robinson a little bit just for shits and gigs. Just give a little taste when things get out of hand. But it's the Christian McCaffrey show. And the last time Mac Jones was the quarterback, I think McCaffrey got like 10 targets. Threw to him a lot.
Yep.
Juszczyk, no. Gorend, no. Jake Tongues, I don't even think we need to go here, but Jake Tongues is actually maybe we need all the pass catchers. Who they're going to
Tongues in play.
Yeah, he's fine. But Jake Tongues is the primary tight end with George Kittle out. Luke Farrell comes in a little bit, he plays 50% of snaps, doesn't run as many routes, so it seems like Tongues is their route runner.
He is, although Farrell, I think, caught a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Either last week or the week before with Mac. I can't remember. But yeah, Tongues is definitely the guy. Yeah.
Who's got the slate? Mateo, give us your insights in the chat, please. Yes. If you have it on lock, I need to know. Okay, so let's talk about these wide receivers. So we got Tongues, fine, Farrell, whatevs. And then we go down to the wide receiver group. Kendrick Bourne, who has been playing with the team for the past few weeks, and to me seems like the best of them.
Yeah, I agree. If it's possible to have a best of them, it's probably him. When Demarcus Robinson isn't too far behind there. I think to me they're 1A and 1B, and then you've got MVS and Sky Moore as kind of like prayers, basically.
Yeah, I thought at one point that they might start Sky Moore, but no. And Sky Moore has never had any sort of good quality NFL production. So the other three guys have NFL experience, and those probably have to be the guys that we focus on. Yeah, Kendrick Bourne, D-Rob, and a little MVS for the reminder of the showdown pain that you get from him. The villain of showdowns.
Yeah. Now, MVS was a healthy scratch last week. Is there any chance he comes out and says, I'm going to prove everyone wrong?
No.
Because I feel like, didn't MVS start last season for a little bit? There was a stretch where he was a starter. Was it the Saints? I can't remember who it was for.
I believe it was Seattle, and
Seattle. He looked respectable though.
He was fine.
He's fine.
He's not a bad player. I think today you have to play him. We don't know for sure that who will be the focal point of this passing. No one knows. I'm sorry if you're we think it's probably Demarcus Robinson and Bourne, but like, I don't know. They're going to throw to, and Valdez-Scantling will be on the field. It's not like they're going to, I guess they might run 2 tight end, but like,
no, they both MVS and Moore will definitely see the field enough to warrant consideration.
Yeah. Third consideration. I think that salaries have to be thrown out, almost ignored in this contest. Because I don't see how else you don't ignore them. Let's take a look at the flex ownerships on DraftKings here. See where they're at. McCaffrey, Puka 50%, Stafford 60%. Everybody loves the quarterback. It's my quarterback. I don't think you need to play Stafford at all.
Which is funny because everyone loved his wide receivers during the main slate last week, but nobody wanted to play him.
And obviously that was the nut play because Stafford usually doesn't.
That was the nut play.
Yeah, I mean, that was the nut for last week. But that was a competitive matchup. This isn't that. This is something different. This is a beatdown that's probably going to happen.
I agree. Now, here's my one hesitation. You tell me if I'm wrong, because I might be. I feel like if anyone can do a lot with a little, it's going to be Kyle Shanahan. Like for whatever reason, this guy just knows how to get an offense going, at least to the point where it's competitive, no matter who's on the field. And we've seen that with Mac Jones. He started 2 weeks this season. They've been competitive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough. That's the only thing holding me back from saying this is going to be a Rams beatdown.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. Kudos to DraftKings for not having all of these guys at $200, I guess. Somehow they figured out to price them differently. So you've got Kendrick Bourne sitting here at 4,600. Okay.
That's way too, to me, that flex ownership's too low.
28% seems
definitely
low.
Would want to be over that.
Yeah. Seems a little low. Rams defense going to get some love here, which makes some sense. Demarcus Robinson at 22%, Bobbywow.
Too low. I'll be overweight on both. Those are my favorite two, obviously. We talked about that, but I think you definitely want exposure to both those two.
Yeah. And then we get to, there's Tongs, Blake Corum. Blake Corum's getting some ownership, 16%. And then, the third tight ends for the Rams, Parkinson and Whittington, or Parkinson, I guess, at 15%. Farrell at 10. Feels fadeable. 49ers defense feels fadeable. And then I have some interest in Brian Robinson Jr. here, Bobby. I think there could be some blowout run with him in the second half of a game. Oh, actually, no, wait. Blowout run with him in the second half where they decide. So here's my scenario for it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Let's not risk McCaffrey. We're getting our ass kicked. Is that out of the realm of like?
No. I think that's very possible. I'm just not as sure about the blowout, I think.
Yeah.
But yes, in a blowout, I do think for sure McCaffrey comes out of the game.
That's the version of how this game plays out that burns all the McCaffrey people. I'm just trying to think of ways that because normally you would go 100% all in on someone like McCaffrey on the slate when you can afford it. Same thing with Puka, really, but definitely McCaffrey. And I'm like, McCaffrey, the paths for him to fail are very slim. Like
there's not enough studs. Yeah, there's not enough pricey studs here. And I guess what I'm saying is McCaffrey could legitimately score like 12 or 13 points on a slate like this and still be in the flex nuts lineup.
Yeah.
That's the issue. And people are talking about injury. Yes, CMC could absolutely get injured, but it would have to happen at the beginning of the game to me because he's going to be involved, from the first snap. He's going to be catching passes and doesn't need to put up that many points with the lack of studs here.
I was going to say he could have like 12 points after the first quarter. More.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He had 15 freaking targets Mac Jones's last start.
That's what I'm saying. Like this guy Mac Jones loves throwing to him. He'll play the whole first half. So like if he gets the 7 targets or 6, that's already 12, 15, 18 fantasy points by the time you add it all up. Like it's going to be hard for him not to have a good game here if the 49ers play competently. And I would say the 49ers should, like, why wouldn't they play competent? All right, let's just bring it down for a second. So why wouldn't they play? Mac Jones is not bad. He's probably not that much different than Brock Purdy. It's like not that super worse. Different. He's maybe a little worse, but like he's not that different. Yeah, they're definitely going to want the ball. They're going to want to hold the ball. They're going to keep it out of the Rams' offense's hands. That means heavy dose of McCaffrey early. He likes to throw to him.
And we've seen it twice already. I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but Mac Jones has played in 2 games this season, and he's played well enough for them to win. And the 49ers have run a really efficient and balanced offense with him. So I have no reason to expect anything differently here.
Yeah. All right. So I think we play it, in that scenario, we can play it straight and just say, you know what, regular game, McCaffrey does his thing. Puka does his thing. Maybe Devontae pops. And then where are the other pieces to bring it all together? Kendrick Bourne, Demarcus Robinson, all those names. Got to pick the right ones. But yeah, I could see that.
I do think you want a little exposure to, if you're running out 150 lineups and playing, mass multi-entry, definitely want some exposure to those backup tight ends for the Rams too, because they're cheap enough here where, they give you significant savings, even off of the 49ers wide receiver options.
I got to feel this out, and let's see what the actual salary spend feels like when you're doing it. So this will give a better idea here. Let's load this up. Bobbywow, did I forget to do anything before we got to this part?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, we not a whole lot to run down matchup wise because it's a whole brand new 49ers team, basically.
Yeah. Ooh, loss coverage token. Oh, don't mind if I do. What the hell is this? All right. I got to do 10% back. Thank you, DraftKings. All right. So let's say you put McCaffrey and Puka in the lineup. Let's just start there. 5K left. Now we want all these studs. We want all the good plays. But all right, Demarcus Robinson and who's the other one? Kendrick Bourne, right?
Yep.
So we pick one of these guys. Let's go Bourne. 56. Okay. So on FanDuel, on DraftKings, I mean, you're right. It's not free, and it's not like that. It's not as free as I thought it would be. So there are salary constraints here. Where am I going after this? D-Rob? Could you go both of these guys in the same lineup? Rams defense, maybe? Kyron Williams? Devontae up there? There's Kyron. And then, okay. All right. Something like that.
Love it with CMC a captain, but if you swap Puka and McCaffrey out with each other,
I mean, does it matter that? Yeah, I mean, you gotta love Puka as well. Obviously,
it doesn't matter that much.
It doesn't really matter. Same price, but I think something like this could work. I don't think it needs to be Rams defense, but Rams defense good. I kind of like it.
This. Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind that. So there you have it. A little excitement. If I was building for this isn't that different from how I might build for cash. Probably switch it up for a kicker here.
Yeah, the kickers are very solid here, especially Cardi. He's really intriguing.
Get a kicker in there or something like that. But other than that, this is pretty cashy. So we don't have. Let's take a look. One more thing I want to actually look at here.
And before we close up, I do want to see what the salary looks like when you're building with one of those 49ers receivers at captain. I'm just curious.
Let's try that. Bourne is the big play guy, right?
Let's go Bourne at captain.
Yeah. Let's put Bourne up there. Okay. Oh, lots of salary left over. So this is where there is some benefit to doing this, because now I don't need to take Cardi or even something like that.
Robinson, Swab Robinson. Let's see what we got here.
It's not getting that much better at 57.
Devontae?
No, we didn't get to Devontae. Really, we just got a second kicker in there. That didn't help that much. Let me see what happens if I put Devontae Adams in. 3,900. So, no.
Probably taking Kyron out, right? It's tough to see Puka, Adams, and Kyron having a big game. But
yeah, I think it's one or the other. So I'm going to leave Kyron because I actually think this setup is as good as can be for Kyron. I don't normally play Kyron Williams very often, but I think this is not a bad spot for him. So I'd rather leave it.
Agreed.
I want that, I want that home favorite quarterback and whatnot. But you get a little, if you want Hopium Valdez Scantling in here, then you can maybe get up there to another sort of semi. No. Look at this giant gap of salary, Bobby. After Mac Jones or after Kyron, you got to go all the way from 8K, from 9K down to 5,400 or 5,600, whatever Bourne's price is, until you find the next viable player. That's a gap of like 4K, 3K, 4K before you get to the next guy. So that's going to create for some interesting salary leftover situations.
It is, and that's partly why I think we need to consider those backup tight ends from the Rams.
Yeah, that's what gets you there.
You could literally get up to Adams if you picked one of those guys instead of MVS and a kicker here with the salary gap,
or even like a Whittington. Gross, but it's pretty gross.
Davis Allen's got a couple touchdowns this season, but that's about it. I mean, he doesn't do a whole lot. Davis Allen
be like your preferred over?
No, I don't feel strong enough to say I have a preference, but I'm just saying Allen has a couple of touchdowns at least that we can point to.
I was hoping you'd get us a favorite.
Me too.
Yeah, and I definitely think you should build a blowout run lineup with Kyron and Corum. That's like the blowout run lineup, though. You got to build that handcraft. Yeah. All right, let's shift gears. Actually, I want to look at one more thing here before we shift gears. I wanted to look at the prop projections and just see what the numbers look like for some of these players. So let's take a look at the wide receiver group here. Not captain, flex. Okay, flex. Ooh, whoa. Okay. All right. So Kendrick Bourne, his prop here is 9.3. That's not bad for a 4,600.
That's great.
Yeah, it's not bad. DeMarcus Robinson's at 7.4.
That's not bad either, honestly.
Not too bad. Valdez Scantling at an appropriate 1.
Sky Moore is interesting to me as a punt as well.
Maybe get some Sky Moore in there. Like as that the crazy turd that just might pay off.
He's the guy no one's going to play. And understandably so, but at 800, he's going to see the field. He's going to be the forgotten man for the 49ers here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should forget him, but
totally. And again, understandably so, but I do think there's some reason for some exposure there.
Yeah, and the Rams have that's right. Rams have a rookie tight end. His name is Higgins, I believe, or something like that they were excited about that they drafted this year. I that person could be activated and could add a whole nother little element to this thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters that much. All right. Let's see. Any other interesting props we could look at? Corum at 6. Kyron. I mean, obviously, it's a really good number for McCaffrey. Stafford at 16 at the same price as McCaffrey, who's at a 23. So, do with that what you will. Tongues gets a strong 7-point projection as well. All right, there you have it. Let's jump gear. Let's shift gears and take a look at FanDuel. FanDuel is very different this week than DraftKings, Bobby, because of the misprice of Mac Jones. Now you have a quarterback for $1,000, and at that point, you start your lineup there. I don't think he necessarily belongs as a flex, but would you play Mac as a flex?
As a captain, you mean?
Captainable.
I mean, I suppose you could. But probably not. Probably not going there.
Yeah. If you're not going there, I'm not going there. That's my rule. All right, so let's load up FanDuel real quick, and we'll take a look at some of the values just so I could see who's mispriced.
I'm just not even sure you could spend it, even if you did put him in MVP.
Yeah. Look at that. So Mac Jones, crazy underpriced, 1,000.
Just play him and move on. Don't overthink that one in the flex.
Let's just see what this looks like here. All right, so you play McCaffrey up top, right? McCaffrey. This is where you can play some Stafford. It's like, should I just go down and click the most expensive? Kyron. And then down here you still have
Bourne. You still have Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, come on. Come on. I don't know.
That might be that cash. That's definitely the cash lineup right there to me.
I don't want to give it out, but like, yeah, that looks really good. That fit really nicely together. I almost don't want to change anything here. But obviously from here, there are adjustments. But I think Mac Jones, Bobbywow. So you could like, what adjustment? I could shift Kyron up top. I could shift Stafford up top.
Shift Puka up top.
For sure.
Puka definitely viable on FanDuel here.
Devontae
even. Yep.
Is this FanDuel? Let's take a look at what the ownerships look like at MVP.
It looks like Steven. I just want to point out Steven's comment. 100%. I think Mac Jones, proved me and a lot of people wrong this season. To this point, he's looked pretty good in the offense. So no doubt about it. I think he could have a decent game here.
Yeah. Again, I'm not absolutely convinced that Mac Jones is any kind of different from Purdy or that he's less good than Purdy. At worst, I think Purdy might be a little bit, I don't know. It's not that different. So looking at this right here, the ownerships, Bobbywow, this is FanDuel, and McCaffrey 27%, Puka 25%, similar to the other one. Stafford 10, Kyron 10, Mac Jones getting a little bit of captain love, and Devontae, and that's it. So there's no captains beyond this group. Is there any captain that you could think of beyond that group that you would be like, hey, they forgot to use this guy?
Probably not. And here's why. It's because with Mac Jones at 1K, you effectively need the MVP to just be the raw highest scorer here. It's like, you know what I mean? There's really not a whole lot of like salary that you're missing if you put one of those guys there. Like if you put someone else at MVP below that range, I mean, legitimately, like that person basically has to outscore the guys that you have highlighted there, raw points.
Yeah,
you're not getting any salary relief from that MVP spot just because Mac is already 1K. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, Bourne has the game of a lifetime. It's so unlikely on the road against a good defense.
I think Bourne would probably have to outscore Puka and McCaffrey and Kyron.
If Bourne is doing that, Puka is outscoring him just because they're answering.
And Mac Jones is outscoring him because he's most likely.
Jones. Yeah, and he's spreading it around. So,
and he's
yeah. I think this group is correct. So, of this group here, I mean, obviously, I would say McCaffrey, really good, but certainly he's an underdog running back on a team with a low total. Only 17 points. So, if the Rams defense holds up, if the 49ers offense is shit because of that, and that could have happened even if it was just a straight game with all of the healthy guys. But, it's on the road. It's at the Rams. They're heavy favored. So our standard approach here would be like, let's fade the running back attached to the underdog team. So I'm going to have to favor, I think on FanDuel, we really need to think about Stafford up there. We need to think about Puka up there and even Kyron. And maybe going a little under that 27% that McCaffrey is showing. What do you think?
I think so. Look, Stafford, that's way too under-owned to me if that ownership holds there, with him at 11%. I think Devontae even is worth taking some shots on. I'll guess, he's probably going to be around 5%. He, in deeper tournaments, he could be worth a look there. But to me, I love being contrarian a lot, and I love kind of fading the field. But there really aren't very many reasons on this slate, again, especially with Mac Jones price so low and there's so many wide receivers for the 49ers price low. I think where you need to get cute is in your flex. I think CMC, Puka, Kyron, Matt Stafford, the usual suspects here. Devontae at captain and MVP. I think one of those guys is going to hit it just because of the way that your pricing works out. I think where the Millions one is probably in the flex, where you're putting in a Davis Allen instead of a DeMarcus Robinson, or a Brian Robinson, and even if CMC gets there, Brian Robinson scores enough to outscore the 49er wide receivers, and not many people are going to be doing that.
Yeah,
so that's where you get cute if you're asking me.
Yeah, that is what I'm asking. Like, how do you differentiate? Because it seems really obvious. I could see, it's hard to differentiate this. So again, put Blake Corum in the flex.
Mm-hmm.
Something that other people aren't doing. So you're gonna have to get a little unique somewhere, or a Kyron captain Corum in the flex approach.
Yep, that would do it. Heck, even Sky Moore in there over like a DeMarcus Robinson in your flex.
Yeah. You got to just pluck low
in
owned.
the few.
Yeah, pluck, but focus around a couple captains and then pluck a few around. Rams D for captain? No, I'm not doing that.
It could. It's viable.
It's viable, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. This should be a fun one tonight, Bobby. Wow, I think we got it covered. There's not too much to really. It's not too much complexity on the Rams side. They throw it to it's the same three guys that get all the fantasy production along with the quarterback, so we know what to do there. And on the 49ers, you know what? Expect the unexpected a little bit, but also, we're gonna have to embrace Bourne and DeMarcus Robinson. These are mediocre guys, but have stepped up in times when they've been needed and have been reliable. So both those guys, by the way, I would say are reliable. Let me put it like this. Both of them are better than like what the Jets currently have going at WR2 and 3.
We've seen them put up solid games before. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm saying even that recently. Like, who the hell's Ty Johnson and all these randos? Like, these guys have won your fantasy league a week. Both of them. DeMarcus Robinson and Bourne has had times when that's going to be my it's going to be my take.
Like it.
But yeah, I was seeing myself frozen on the screen there. I didn't know if you were seeing that as well. But guys, that's going to do it for the Showdown breakdown. Remember, we will be back on Friday here for Tournament Tactics, where we go over the entire DraftKings NFL Week 5 main slate. Bobbywow, Josiah, Burns, the whole crew back together. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, guys. If you want to check out DFS Army, promo code Geek, you can check it out. And of course, you guys all know I've been printing cash, doing arbitrage betting, using the Sharp app. Bobby Wow's getting into it. We're all doing it. It's crazy. I'm making at times $250 an hour. It's unbelievable how lucrative it is. If you want to check out what arbitrage betting is, go to sharp.app, use promo code Geek or sharp.app/geek, and it will activate a 7-day free trial to check out the Sharp app arbitrage tool. It is spectacular. It works live in game. You can do it pre-games. If you already have a Sharp subscription for any period of time that you have it, you have access at least to the pre-games already. They're awesome. It's just nice. Every time I open it up, it's like I clip $50, I clip $30. All right, shut it down. Look again. Or while the games are happening, I'm clipping hundreds of dollars in ARBs every single time. It's crazy. So
make sure to check that out. At some point, we need to go live with an ARB competition, a turd hat bet, you and I for a game. See who can ARB the most profitably.
I'd be down to turd ARB bet that. You probably take me out. But, we are in different states, so we'll have access to different things. It's a little unfair in that sense, but I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, in different states, you'll be like, we wouldn't be doing the same ones because it's different.
Oh, I know. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Absolutely down. All right. Yeah, John Marchese's got 12% already in play. Look at that. That's the stuff. Arb away. I love to hear it. And I love that you guys have been in the chat. You've heard about it, and it's taking you there, and you're realizing, holy shit, this actually is a side hustle. And for me, hey, it funds it can help fund all the DFS losses until you hit that big win.
Exactly.
Right? Like my DFS account never goes down because I'm always making money on the arbitrage. So it just works really nicely. It's like funding my account. It's really cool. So again, sharp.app/geek gets you the 7-day free trial over at Sharp app. And of course, DFS Army, optimizer, projections, notes, Bobbywow, the Discord, everything we have going on, the Players Club on Saturday, lineup building together, all that great stuff. Promo code GEEK at DFS Army, 10% off. Good luck tonight, everybody. Helmets up.